There's a change of guard at Jeep India. There's a new head of the iconic SUV brand, Aditya Jairaj, head of Jeep India and Deputy Managing Director of Stellantis. Welcome and thanks for talking to Autocar India. You've come in at a time when things are a bit challenging. So just to understand clearly, a lot to do. What are going to be your immediate priorities from a brand perspective, and going forward, even looking at the market and certain product gaps which we'll come to?
Sure. First of all, thank you, Hormazd. It's a pleasure to talk to you. It is indeed a very interesting time. It's interesting for many reasons, right? One, customer needs are evolving. Customers are becoming more demanding. We've got an iconic brand like Jeep that has a rich culture and heritage. And the idea now for me, if I have to elaborate on my key priorities, the most important one is how do we increase desirability for the Jeep brand? We've got a very strong brand. How do we increase that upper funnel so we can provide more and more consumers with the ability to go anywhere on their adventures with an authentic and the original 4x4 Jeep, right? So that's my number one priority. Second priority for me at this point is to build that trust with our stakeholders, right? Stakeholders are multiple. It's our customers, it's our dealers, it's our own employees. So we've got a strong bond. So my challenge right now is to take that bond to the next level because we have to all succeed together. So that's two. And third is to energize and galvanize the system to levels that go beyond what we are today, right? So these are I would say the three key priorities in terms of what I've set out for myself. And proof in the pudding would be more acceptance of the Jeep brand, higher acceptance of the Jeep brand, and increased sales.
Right, increased sales, that's what I want to talk about. But just taking off from what you said is to increase trust with your shareholders. I mean, to be honest, does that suggest there was a bit of a trust deficit, a lack of confidence, which really was hurting the brand and hurting sales, which have been, at its lowest peak, lowest period right now compared to what sales were there? Is this an issue and something you need to address?
I'll actually answer the question the other way, another way. So outside of North America, India is the only market where Jeep assembles 4 nameplates. Right, starting with the iconic Wrangler nameplate, we assemble it in Ranjangaon in our plant. The Grand Cherokee, which is the most celebrated SUV in the world, is also now assembled in India, in addition to the Compass and the Meridian. Right, so we make in India, for India, right, and this is, I think, at this point, a well-kept secret. Right. So this is what I want to be able to communicate to our consumers, saying, we're here. Outside of North America, we assemble 4 products here like no other place in the world. So these are kinds of proof points that builds trust. Did we have a lack or deficit of trust earlier? I think, for a few years, we established ourselves as the most trusted brand in the industry. So we're building on top of that. We've got proof points in terms of our products, in terms of what we do here, in terms of our entire operation, our legacy, and we want to take this to the next level.
Right. But again, Aditya, talking about sales, they've been pretty low. I mean, you obviously need more volumes, more numbers. You've just fundamentally got 2 volume products right now. So one would say there are a lot of product gaps. Is that one way of filling them to get sales up? Because firstly, looking at the short term, what do you think you need to do to get the sales numbers back up to, I would say, a kind of, I wouldn't say an acceptable level, but a good level?
Sure. So I think 2 things, Hormazd. One, we've got a wide array of products today, right? So we have to take awareness of these products to the next level so we can increase sales, right? Because 4 products, so we go right from the Compass to the Meridian, to the Wrangler, to the Grand Cherokee. So if you look at our actual showroom, it's quite expansive. So we need to increase awareness of these products. We need to increase the understanding of the capability of the products and do the best with what we have at this point. Now, the other question is, what else can we add to this, right? So as an organization, Jeep is part of the Stellantis organization. It's a large workhorse. We're always looking at what we can do to continue to satisfy customer needs. This is product and beyond product. So I'll talk about product because that's what gets people excited. So if you look at the Indian market is evolving, right? We are going more and more towards EVs. Customer preferences are evolving. So we are looking at our product portfolio, and when the time is right, we will make changes to the product portfolio with a customer at the center of it. The key is the customer at the center of it. Now, for an EV to come, or for any product for that matter to come, there has to be a strong value proposition. Without that strong value proposition, things are not sustainable, right? So we're looking for that value proposition when it comes to EVs, and when the time is right, it will come. I'll throw a little light on what our global capabilities are, right? So Jeep is known for 4x4. So 4xe is now the new 4x4.
Right.
So from a capability perspective, we have it. Right? Now we have to customize it, we have to tailor it to Indian conditions, and when the time is right, we'll make sure that the customer is at the center of it and is the beneficiary.
Right.
And the second aspect of that is this goes beyond products, right? We need to continuously delight customers. So we've launched the Jeep Adventure Assure program, which is peace of mind ownership, right? What does Jeep Adventure Assure include? It includes your insurance, it includes your warranty, extended warranty, tires, batteries. It includes all of this, including insurance. So consumers can just enjoy their Jeep for their adventures. So we're looking at ideas beyond just the product to elevate this consumer experience, so the acceptance of the brand increases.
Right. But Aditya, I'm just going to press you on the product thing, because quite honestly, there are gaps. I mean, something like the petrol, you don't have any petrol in your portfolio right now at a time when the market is shifting from diesel to petrol. I mean, just wanted an honest feedback on, do you think you would need to look at getting petrol back, because clearly that's really where the market is going. And secondly, while you have the big range and very capable products, you just have two mainstream products, which are Compass and a Meridian, which are really the mass products manufactured over here, not just assembled but manufactured over here. So just pressing you on the fact that there are a lot of gaps which need to be filled right now.
Sure. So great question, Hormazd. So if you look at the segment in which we operate, right, Compass specifically, yes, it is shifting away from diesel, but diesel is still quite predominant, right? There are different thrills that the diesel engine gives you, right? The drive is very different in a diesel powertrain versus a petrol powertrain. Now, do we need an additional petrol powertrain? Do our consumers need it? Like I said, we are evaluating what consumers want. Customers are at the center of it, and if the case demands, we'll make changes. But today, with what we have, right, customers can be delighted with what we have, and it's our endeavor to bring this to as many customers as we can, so that they're delighted. Second point, we've got two mainstream volume products, Compass and Meridian. Compass operates in the C segment, which is pretty large. Meridian operates in the D segment, which is smaller but also growing. I think with this, we're able to provide consumers different value propositions. Now, it's our job to show consumers what these products can offer to them, and that's one of my key priorities.
Right. So you're not committing on the petrol engine yet, but one can, let's say, assume if customer wants it, which he does, it would eventually come. So we'll I won't press you further on that. Just want to talk on exports. Exports have just not fallen off. I think you got now a plant in Europe which is catering to markets where exports were going from here. Any plans to revive exports, because that's critical for your economies of scale, especially when the newer model comes, next gen Compass comes, you would need good volume to justify the investments required to bring new products in.
Sure. So India is very strategically significant for Jeep and for Stellantis, right? It's strategically important because we want to make for India, make in India, and also make for the world, right? So it holds a very unique place in the world where there are different skill sets / value propositions available in India that we want to use for across the world. So that is at the center stage of our planning process, and again, our endeavor is to make sure that we're able to capitalize on that value. So exports will fall into that category.
So you think exports will come back eventually, because right now they've dropped quite a bit.
Exports will be, I'll say not just finished vehicle exports, but components even, right? Components even will play a very important role in the end-to-end of what we do in India.
Right. And talking about EVs, you said that would eventually come, and you spoke about the 4xe. So one question is, will there always be a 4x4 in as a variant in every Jeep lineup, or could we ever see a 4x2 only model being developed?
So great question, Hormazd. So as Jeep, I think we owe this to our consumers. What do we owe to our consumers? That promise of authenticity. With authenticity comes capability, and all Jeeps will be capable.
Which means they'll all have some 4x4 variant in the lineup.
They will be capable.
Okay. So not stating it, but it would be quite thing. And you've got interesting new platforms coming. You've got the STLA mid platform, which other brands use. Is there a case for getting another brand from the Stellantis stable, just because it's easy to bring them in, and the investment is not that much because of the common architecture and componentry? Is that something you're exploring?
So I'll leave you with this. India is very important for Stellantis from a strategic standpoint, right?
So more brands is possible.
It's very strategic. So again, the customer is at the center of it. If customers demand it, if there's a case for it, we've got the wherewithal. So again, it's all the customer at the center of it. If a case exists, we'll continue to delight our customers.
Right. Well, Aditya, not giving away too much, but let me end with just asking you on your immediate focus and priorities. I mean, let's face it, you've had some senior level exits or moving out from the Jeep brand. No office also as of now. I mean, what's the plan going forward in terms of the organization structure, the network? You spoke of it earlier. Is this going to be your immediate focus, and to get certain products like the Meridian back on track, which you had just only recently launched, and you need more volumes for that? So, immediate challenges and focus.
Absolutely. So, threefold, Hormazd. Energize the teams, build trust in the teams with all the stakeholders and our partners, and, as they say, make lemonade with the lemons you have. There's still quite a bit of juice left.
Right.
So those are the three immediate focus areas for us. And then beyond that, there's a lot that the Jeep brand has to offer. So we'll focus on that in the medium term.
And what has India taught you? Obviously, you belong to this country. You've obviously gone international and come back. You know the market, you know the culture, you know the people. That's, I'm sure, an advantage. But I mean, it's not been easy as well. So just summing up the Jeep consumer in India. Obviously, someone, I wouldn't say difficult to please, but someone is very, very nuanced in what they are buying. Yeah.
So very interesting question, Hormazd. I'll answer this two-part. You may not have asked this question, but I'll still answer this. What drove me back to do this? Right. So for me personally, there's a lot invested in this. Right. So I am originally from India. I worked in India, studied in India, went overseas for the last 15 years. I've got back. What drove me back here? If I have to describe that in one word, it's passion for the brand. And I have seen that in my last 60 days. I have seen passion with employees, with consumers, with past consumers and past employees. That passion has really driven me back. So there's a lot for me at stake here. And this gives me an understanding of what the consumers also expect. Right? You have to always put yourself in the consumer's shoes to see what they expect. So expectations are high, but what India has taught me is you have to act, and you have to act quick.
Right.
Reaction time is what you're measured on.
Right. Well, thanks, Aditya. Obviously, wish you all the best.
Thank you,
I can see
Hormazd.
you're bringing a lot of passion to the business, and hopefully a lot of speed to certain decision-making processes. And I know it's a tough road ahead, but wish you all the best. I mean, you've got really the advantage of a strong brand. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, Hormazd. Pleasure.
Thank you.